Ginjena. So over this past weekend, right? One of my team players, we were on the road off to a gig, and he literally made us listen to a whole Nomfundo Mall, like song after song after song.
And was it less?
Can I tell you?
This is more.
Can I? Well, no. It was way more. It was way more than I had bargained for or expected.
Yeah.
I know she's good at music, but I didn't think she could captivate me. Like song after song after song, she did.
She's
and
good.
I'm not saying it for lip service. I'm not saying it because I've got nothing better to say right now.
And
it
she's
is
being
a
pushed
fact.
a lot, eh?
She
all her
deserves
ads
it.
all over TikTok.
She
Like
deserves
you go
it.
into TikTok, I always bump into her ads.
Well, this guy who's talking about Nomfundo Mo's ads and Nomfundo Mo being pushed all over TikTok and all over social media, he's on social media himself. His name is Mustafa. Let's give you an intro to what he's on about.
So here's something interesting. Only 20.7% of directors and 29.5% of executive managers are women in South Africa. Women make up 51% of South Africa's population, but only 44.3% of the workforce. South Africans' median gender pay gap hovers between 23 to 35% less that women earn than men. So here's something interesting. The Zulu royal household has an annual budget this year of 67.3 million rand. The royal house actually receives its budget every year from the KZN Premier's office. The money is said to be given to the king to assist him in his royal duties, including annual events, royal household upkeep, and social cohesion programs across the province. So here's something interesting. 608 billion rand in claims and benefit payments were paid out to honest policyholders and their beneficiaries in 2021. However, South African insurers actually detected 4,287 fraudulent claims worth 787 million rand. Yes, y'all are such scammers. So here's something interesting. Mega churches and mega pastors are known for generating significant income from tithes, donations, and merchandising. Rhema Bible Church, led by multi-millionaire televangelist Ray Macaulay, reported turning over 185 million rand in today's money back in 2009. According to his 2016 financial report, Grace Bible Church, which is actually a breakaway of Rhema, possessed assets that were in excess of 200 million rand.
Bro, your videos.
What the hell?
Like, you've got
What
these
the
nuggets
hell?
of information we never knew that we needed
Yeah.
up until we hear them.
Yes.
And every time I come across your videos, I just hear, so here's something interesting. I know I don't swipe, past the video.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that? Here's something interesting. Was it planned or you stumbled upon it?
No, okay, so I'm by profession and trade and whatnot, I'm a strategist, right? Primarily a media and communication strategist, but also a business strategist. So what I knew, and in my sort of like as a not as a hobby, but in my not in my pastime, but in my leisure time, what I normally do is that I watch a lot of content around the world and Africa, but I also realize that there's nobody who's giving what like I watch, but for the South African and SADC and African context.
And the fickle mind also.
Nobody's giving it, right? So I said, but we have such interesting stories, right? Interesting. We have such interesting stories. And
Stories.
But you need to deliver them in a medium that people are already used to consuming the media in, right?
Yes.
So I literally started making the stuff with it had to be 45 seconds. So the first videos, I would cram down 45 seconds and I would hit you with a lot of things. Because I knew that there's something called the drop-off rate, where people are watching and then they zone out because of overstimulation of people.
It's that
And then
fickle
they'll go.
mind.
So it has to be short. And that's why when people started asking me, no, man, why are they not long? I'm like, no. But you have to understand, you wanting more, I'll eventually get to that. But right now, we need to build the audience and get people to understand this is how to consume South African content, because it exists. We can't have Americans making stories about Lesotho when we should be making, right? And that's why later in the series next month, that's one of the stories, the importance of Lesotho to South Africa that people don't understand. Like it's all around us and nobody was putting it together and packaging it.
Mustafa, are you a nerd?
Yes, I am.
He is.
Yes, I am a geek.
You are literally, what's that sitcom with those nerds and those geeks?
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
You're the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Not Sheldon so much.
No.
'cause he's
I'm not. But
weird.
I'm saying you are literally encapsulated as a concept.
Yes.
You are a Big Bang Theory.
Yes. I would actually say that I'm between Big Bang Theory and Credo Mutua.
Very much Credo, and you just look like him after you said that. What the hell?
Doesn't look like Credo.
He does.
No way.
He looks like he could be from his bloodline. Look at him. What do you mean?
I believe you guys are speaking about the preservation.
What do you mean he doesn't look
and
like
the telling
him?
of our stories, right?
Come Jonge.
Nah, it's just the glasses.
No, come Jonge.
Nah,
No, come
come
Jonge.
on.
After he said that.
Yeah,
Maybe it's spiritual. Don't worry about it.
maybe.
You look like you could be his grandchild.
Maybe we never.
And you know the thing is, ne?
Yeah.
Abafana nani bati niyahlanya. Ne?
Yes.
Until the penny drops.
Yes.
Until they get hit by their
Yes.
own Big Bang Theory in their mind.
Boom.
Boom.
Yes.
Bro, I mean, there's so much info in your videos,
Yes.
right? How do you research
Sorry,
it,
I
and
hit
how do
you
you
1,000
choose?
times.
Don't worry.
She hits it very hard, yeah. How do you choose what subject to tackle? How do you know what your next video is going to be about, and how much goes into preparation?
Okay, so what I like to do, and someone actually asked me this, and it was quite interesting. So I use a methodology which I call, and probably someone else has termed it something else. I just call it continuous research, right? So I'm continuously researching. So if I read something interesting, I will actually note that down. So I have a list of about, I think I'm up to 80 something, right? And I'm only maybe at 14 for the rest of the year. So I have a list that's always growing,
Wow.
right? And every time someone will give me something, I'll note it. Then I'll take maybe 2 days in a month, right? On a weekend, I'll literally cancel an entire weekend, and I'll sit and basically script everything. But because I know that creativity needs to be channeled, right? I want to be more Maxwell and less D'Angelo. What I will do is that I create a template.
Jeez, bro,
right?
you're so passionate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll create a template of how
He's
I want to
extremely
do this thing,
passionate.
right? So I know that 150 words will equal 1 minute. So I know that I need to sit between 150 to 250 words. That means that on camera I can deliver it. When you have that system, I create probably 12 videos in one sitting.
This is so
for
wild.
the entire month.
Are you this strategic about everything. including your
Everything.
personal life?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a girlfriend, bro? Doesn't
Yes,
sound
yes, I
like
do.
it.
What kind of girlfriend do you have? Is she exactly like you?
Does she exist?
No, you need to compliment each other. She's awesome.
Is she a bot?
No, man.
She's an actual human being.
Actual human being.
She's also a
who
nerd
loves
like
me
you.
very much, and I love her very much. Yeah.
She loves me very much. Or she loves
loves-
you.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I'm
no.
so obnoxious. 23 minutes after 7, that is Pels and Buju. Finesse.
Yeah, and we're still hanging out with Mustafa in studio. What do we call you, bro? What would your title be with the work you're doing online?
Wow. Maybe you could say a socio-economic commentator.
Socio-economic commentator.
Yeah. I'm
That's
trying
very
to.
clever. Did you just coin that now?
No, I did not. I had to think about it.
Sounded like
Yeah,
it.
it sounded like it.
No, I had to think about it because I think a lot of people, and I've got I call it like my board of directors, right? I've got I'm a Khotman in the industry, I'm not in the industry, etc. And by industry, I mean entrepreneurs, right? And in marketing and in other aspects of my life, who kind of look at the work that I do and they will make suggestions. And there's a process to all of this madness, and it will likely end up in a book, etc., and all of these other things, because what we've realized, I've got kids that will send me DMs and say, do you know that we actually use your videos in economics class to
Beautiful.
distill
Beautiful.
concepts in short 1 minute clipping so that people can understand something around an industry.
There's something so intellectually, it's almost like an intellectual gifting.
Yes.
To be able to take 30 minutes worth of information and be able to articulate it in a 45-second video.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So impactfully that people actually understand. And also to a level of a layman who's
Yes.
not as intellectually inclined,
Yes.
for them to just get it and understand it. I think that's a very special gifting. Do you think you're an intellectual?
I think that yes, I am an intellectual, but not in the academic sense, and that's also very key. It's also key to kind of have that distinction, because yes, now in my later life I've gone back and I'm at Wits Business School now, and I'm on the MBA track, but I think a lot of times people get hung up on what qualifications people have, and that's the old world. The new world is about skills, right? I have a particular skill that I understand people and how to get them emotional with words. Yes, it comes from me growing up and being the grandchild of a pastor, right? So I watched my grandfather every Sunday use words to move people and tell stories. So I distill in the same way, right?
Just with different subject matter.
100%.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
doing an MBA, business school. Speaking of business, let's talk about the business of social media and what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think I've seen content that looked sponsored? Are
Yeah.
you making money from this? And how do you monetize it?
Oh, 100%. What I want to distill for people is that this is not by any mistake. I in 2014, I started a digital media agency, which was at the time one of the foremost black-owned social media and digital companies in the country, right? Specifically off Twitter. And we ended up doing, I think, consistently over 10 to 15 million rand a year on that company.
Whoa.
And
That's wild.
this was at a time when nobody thought you could sell on social media, right? And we did it. And we knew, because where people gather, right? Brands want to be part of the conversation, and we facilitate the cool. Right? We help brands to be part of the conversations that everybody's having, whether it's about the king, whether it's about other things, right? Whether it's about Big Zulu. How can a brand be part of that, right?
So you do product placement within conversations.
If you were to distill it to a level like that, yes. But what we do is that we help brands to communicate who they are, what they do, and how it changes people's lives.
Speaking of, I remember you hitting me up looking for Musa Kaula's number. Now he's got a very, he's got a reputation online.
Yes.
Would you be able to monetize an account like that?
So there is a section of people who would want to monetize there, right? With brands that are not necessarily attached to like image, etc., but want more people to see them, right? So you look at people like
I wonder what brands would want to monetize under such a toxic
growing brands.
At any cost.
No, growing brands, guys.
Yeah.
Like a hair company will want to, because there are people there. Where people gather to have conversations, brands will want to be there. It doesn't matter how or when that happens. They want to be part of those conversations. And if you can facilitate those conversations with the right brands, everyone's got an audience, right? And that audience can be monetized. And if you're the one who owns it, then you can make money off it.
Absolutely. So tell me, what's been your most rated piece of content? Because I know the one you did about the Guptas was like literally, it flew.
Let me tell you an interesting story about that. So, one thing, let me get one thing straight. There are definitely third, fourth, fifth forces in the country, and they work tirelessly. So the Gaddafi, I did a Gaddafi clip, right, about where Gaddafi's billions ended up in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
It's an open secret. Everybody knows it. The clip did 500,000 in 3 days. And was 57% of that was in South Africa. The rest was in UK, Ghana, USA, etc. The clip went like global.
Wow.
Within 3 days. I then get a call from my mom, and she says, la clip
Why?
Look, she got a couple of calls from some people, and I have
Is your mom a woman of influence?
Yeah, she is.
Yes, but at the end of the day, the truth is that was my most biggest clip, and it was probably going to go really big. The other one was the lotto. I called it a scam. I still think it's a scam, and they're still open to call me and bring me into the office and explain to me how the lotto is not a scam.
Alrighty, as we wrap you up, so here's what we think as the 959 Breakfast team, right? You have to have a book.
Oh, yes.
A coffee table book.
Yes.
Title it, here's something interesting. I can guarantee you that thing will fly. And also a distribution channel for that coffee table book. I mean, not necessarily a coffee table setting, but you know those long distance flights?
Yeah.
International flights?
Yeah.
We would lap
Goodness me.
that thing up. First class, business class, whatever class, it does not matter. But please toy around with
With
that.
random
100%.
arbitrary facts about things all over.
Yes.
Nothing too long.
Yeah,
just like your videos, but in
Yeah.
text format.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love that. Thanks so much, guys.
No worries. Thank you for sharing your intellect. Thank you for being brave enough to be a nerd when everyone is trying to be cool.
Trying to trend.
Thank you so much. It's so important. 31 after 7. He's starting his day at 959, as are you. To the news desk we go.